Today I'm going to teach you 3 interrogation techniques. I prefer to call these things interview techniques, but I always try to be as nice as I can. You're going to get more flies with honey than with vinegar. Let me tell you what you're going to learn here. Number 1, I'm going to tip a thing to you that I never thought I would tip. It's a favorite move of mine. I love to use it. Number 2, I'm going to teach you the key to working good cop, bad cop. Tell you the thing that almost everybody gets wrong when they try this, that particular technique. And I'm going to tip to you an interview technique here that works phenomenally on tough guys. It's great stuff. So number 1, let me tell you, I'm not an attorney. Nothing here is designated to be legal type information for you. This is just stuff that I have used and it works great. Okay, number 1, I'm going to tell you here, there's a technique called off the record. Now, I don't use this personally, but I always nod and as if I approve of it to the person who volunteers the information. Sometimes people will say, hey, you know, off the record, tell me, you know, what you thought of this or what you think about that, or where you think the guy might be. This is a technique that's used usually a little bit more into the interview. You find you're not really getting what you need, so you kind of lean in confidentially to the person and say, hey, off the record. Let me tell you, there is no such thing as off the record to a private investigator. There's no such thing as off the record to a cop. Reporters will use this with, and I generally trust their integrity if you say something's off the record, but I'm not going to tell you to trust a reporter with this. But there is no such thing as off the record when you're dealing with private investigators or police. So just because you say off the record means absolutely nothing. Okay, the good cop, bad cop. Obviously, this is also called Mutt and Jeff. It's been called Mutt and Jeff for as long as anybody can remember as well. He uses 2 people. One guy plays the harsh bad guy, explains how bad things are going to get for the person that's being interrogated and that there's no way out, things are hopeless. And the second person plays the good cop, offering them a way out. Now, here's the thing that almost everybody misses when they try good cop, bad cop. In order for good cop, bad cop to work, the bad cop starts, the good cop comes in, the good cop sees that the situation is out of hand or there's too much pressure, gets rid of the bad cop, and then starts to build rapport and talk with the suspect. You have to get bad cop out of the room for the person to feel safe and secure talking to you, and a lot of people miss that. All right, this is a technique that I'm going to teach you here. Tough guys tend to fall for it. And this is an exaggeration technique, and this is something that I've used in the past. I think it's wonderful. Recently, I saw just a real low-level drug guy getting into a car of a dealer. And this guy is basically a user, although he'll deal a little bit if he can. So he gets into the passenger side, and they drive off. So when I'm talking to the guy, I'm not going to say that's what I saw. I'm going to say, hey, I saw you driving around dealing dope out of this car the other day. Oh, no, man, you know. And what happens is you've over-exaggerated it so much the person is going to deny and explain, no, I was buying a little bit just for myself. Okay, well, that's all I need. So this technique, people get defensive and they want to explain it's not as bad as you think it is. So it's an exaggeration technique. Let me also explain here, finally, this is my all-time favorite thing. I've used it a million times. You may know it, but I'm going to teach you a version. It's wonderful here. It's the either-or technique. You don't give them a chance to say yes or no. You offer them 2 choices, either one of which is bad for them. I used to work in a area where, for whatever reason, the prosecuting attorney would not prosecute concealed weapons if the person said that what they were carrying was for utility purposes. I could bust somebody climbing off a city bus with a steak knife in their pocket, and the prosecutor would not bust them for carrying a concealed weapon if they said, oh, I was eating an apple with it. So what I would do is I would make the bust, and then I would talk to him, build a little rapport, and I would say, hey, look, you've been decent with me, I appreciate it, but I gotta ask you, the knife, you know, is it for self-defense or were you going to stick somebody? I give them an either-or option, and they always jump on it's just for self-defense. I'm not going to stick nobody. Well, that's admitting that it's a weapon. It goes in the report. Now the prosecutor will pursue carrying concealed weapon charges on that person. So it's an either-or option instead of a yes-no, and it works wonderfully. That one in particular was my favorite, and I cannot tell you how many good CCW charges I got out of that. CCW, carrying concealed weapon. Let me tell you, lastly, the limits that I put personally when I'm interviewing somebody. Obviously, you cannot impersonate law enforcement. It's illegal. I wouldn't recommend it. And I personally never posed as clergy. I never wanted to be. That's just a line that I would not cross. I didn't want this person someday to decide they want to turn around, go legit, and then be reluctant to talk to clergy about it. So I never posed as clergy. Legally, whether you can or not, you have to check your own jurisdiction. I highly recommend against it for a variety of reasons. And like I say, always be nice. I just cannot tell you how many times somebody would give me information because I was nice and we were getting along. The best interrogator I ever met was a DEA guy, and you would swear he was your best friend in the world and just give up stuff to him that you never even intended to. You'd walk away and it was like he did some kind of mind trick on you. If you want to find out the single most important thing you need before you go into an interview, the single most important thing you need to know before you go into any interview, be sure you get the free report that's available at beapi.com. That's beapi.com. The free report there has the single, among plenty of other good information, the single most important thing you need before you go into any interview. I hope this is helpful. Have a great day.